Yo, what's going on, everybody? Back another episode of Yup, I Said It. And this topic right here is something that I've been wanting to talk about for quite some time. And I know a lot of the fellas that listen to this, they can agree with me to some extent. And maybe some of the women can too. But if you don't, then you obviously don't see what I've been seeing for the last, I would say, maybe a decade and a half or 2 decades or so. But I just wanted to ask this question right here. Is masculinity under attack? Let's talk about it. Let me sip my Jack and Dr. Pepper, because whiskey is a very masculine drink. Yup, I said it. So, one of the things that I wanted to just, rant about is that I feel like in today's society, I honestly feel like people are trying to attack masculinity. Anytime you do anything that's manly or just something that's in our nature to do, you have all these SJW liberals and these feminists. They love to scream toxic masculinity. And so now it's toxic to be a man nowadays. So they push all these agendas on us. They push feminism hard now. They're pushing this LGBTQ agenda. And they're doing all this to attack masculinity. They don't want men to be men anymore. They're trying to butter men up. And if you notice, all the men who actually have a set of balls and that speak their minds, guys like me, for example, we're always under attack. We're always under attack. And I see right through it. And all the masculine men, they're either, how can I say this? I feel like they're trying to get rid of all the masculine men or silence them. And they're putting all these weak ass beta males in position of power because they know it's easy for women or anybody else to just walk all over them. And I talk to my pops about this all the time. And with masculinity being under attack, take another sip real quick. With masculinity being under attack, I feel like black masculinity is being attacked the most. They're pushing these agendas on black men the most. All of the masculine black men, they're either being emasculated or exterminated. And let me say that one more time. I honestly feel like most of the black men, guys that are real men, guys that do what they need to do, handle their business, and are great leaders, they're either, they try to emasculate them. If they can't emasculate them, or sometimes they do already, they exterminate them. And I have an issue with that because now, if I want to be what is embedded in my nature, I'm a bad person. I'm toxic. Why am I toxic for being a man? It's not my fault that this was my genetics. That's not my fault that I was born with a nut sack. So that makes me toxic? Because I grow fucking hair on my face, I'm toxic all of a sudden? Get the fuck out of here, man. And with all this feminist bullshit going on, it's not even that they care about the masculinity or the toxicity of it. It's just that nowadays they want to be superior. All this time they try to push equality and talk about, oh, we want to be equal. We want to be treated fairly and equal. But they don't want it to be equal and consistent across the board. They don't want equality nowadays. They want superiority. So with that, they try to attack masculinity because they want to remove masculine men from powerful positions so they can be in power. And they try to do that through emasculating him by making him feel less than a man or try to make him feel bad for being who he is. And that's society in general. Now, about black masculinity, I talk to my pops about this a lot. I noticed that in Hollywood particularly, they always try to put the black actors in dresses. They always try to have them perform some type of homosexual act, whether it's a TV show or a movie. And how come that is? Just so they can get a spot in Hollywood, just so they can be known or get put on. It's like they got to do this sick ritual. And we was talking about this, and he was saying to me that, they've never done this with any of the actors of other races. They've only done it to the black actors. They haven't done it to Clint Eastwood, John Wayne, none of those guys. But every black actor you see, they got them trying to wear dresses. They got them doing some gay shit. And they try to push that agenda on us so much because they want us to see our own people compromising their manhood just to make it. And that's bullshit. I'm telling you right now, you don't need to compromise who you are as a man to conform to these assholes. Fuck them. You continue to be who you are, man. You continue to be you. Fuck what they talking about. They can try to emasculate you all they want to, but don't cave into none of that whole shit, please. Continue to be you, all right? Sorry, I have to look at the camera, you know what I mean? That's my little usual fourth wall breaking on the Yup, I Said It podcast. But, man, I wish I could have my pops on because he can talk about this type of stuff, He's an old school dude, so, he grew up around real men, Grandpops was a man. He took care of the house, went to work, busted his ass to take care of the family. And nowadays, you got women wanting to do that, and they want the men to stay home. They want men to be fucking housewives now. Are you serious? They want men to fucking cook and clean and all that. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. I'm not trying to say that's bad because I'm single and I pretty much live by myself and I cook, I clean, I know how to provide for myself. But they want the man to pretty much do all that shit. They want to switch roles now, where now the women want to be the men. And I just find that shit kind of crazy because when things start to get a little bit hard, they complain about it. And they start to cry. Oh, excuse me. They start to cry, where are all the real men at? I'll tell you. Y'all are getting all the real men locked away. You're trying to get them silenced. You're trying to blackball them. You're trying to censor them. You're trying to take their nuts from them. Because their masculinity is toxic. What do you want? You attack masculinity, but then when there's a lack of masculinity in your presence, you cry about it. I'm trying to figure out what the hell it is that y'all want. I'm still trying to figure it out, man. And in the 60s, it all started off in the 60s with all this Section 8 shit. Politicians bought out people's votes. Radical feminism used men to have babies, called them the disposable male because, I'm independent. I don't need a man. I can take care of it on my own. And you got Section 8 They fucking look through your house, check the closet, all that to make sure that there's not a man around. And a lot of this happened in the black homes. A lot of this happened in the black homes because they were threatened by black masculinity. So they try to do everything they can to get rid of black leaders. By even buying out black women's vote, because most of it was black women who sold out their own because of who's in power. Oh, government can take care of me. I can get WIC, I can get food stamps, I can get welfare. I don't need him. Rodney ain't gonna do shit for me anyway. Rodney a deadbeat. You know, all this time she knowing that he a deadbeat, she know he ain't shit, but she still fucked him though. She still let him nut in her. You know why? Because she needed that fucking masculinity in her life. That's why. But you guys aren't ready for that conversation though, are you? Y'all don't want to talk about that, are you? At least back in those times, yeah, there were dusty dudes around, but women wasn't fucking them like that. Nowadays, oh man, I'm sorry to go on a little tangent, but man, I just feel like in today's society, it is so hard to be a man without somebody trying to make you feel bad about it. I can use me as an example. Let's just use me as an example. I'm very fucking outspoken. I speak my mind. I say what the fuck I want to say, and I don't care how people feel about what I say. That's the reason why I named my podcast, Yup, I Said It, because I'm very unapologetic, and when I say what the fuck I mean, and fuck your feelings. That's some man shit right there. Because when we was growing up, that's how it was. You had to have thick skin growing up, especially growing up as a black man. You had to have fucking thick skin. I'm sorry, but that's what it is. You got to have thick skin in this world. Especially having to watch people that look like us get murdered because of the color of their skin. You know how tough that is? You know how tough that is to see? You know how tough that is subconsciously? But we have to suck it up. And we have to be men about it, you know? Whenever we do start to show signs of emotion, we're labeled as weak. And everyone wants us to be masculine. Man up. Stop all that bitch ass crying. They only want us to man up when we hurt. But then when we try to be men, when we try to get our own, and when we try to speak on how we feel and we speak our minds, you're the bad guy. Nick Cannon, for example, on his podcast, on his platform, spoke about some things, and a lot of what he said was true. Oh, but because he struck some nerves, he loses his job because he spoke about some shit that was true. And now people are trying to say he's anti-Semitic and all that other shit. But he was using his First Amendment right to speak his mind. Just like how I'm using my First Amendment right to speak mine. I'm not worried about losing my job for saying what I feel. I don't give a fuck at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, whether I have my job or my career or whatever or not, at the end of the day, I'm still a fucking man. And I'm going to embrace being a man. I'm sorry, but that's what I was born as, and that's what I'm going to be until I die. A fucking man. And I'm just so tired of watching society attack our masculinity. You know, I feel like they just want to bitch us up. They want to bitch us up to the point where everybody's a fucking beta male. Everybody's a fucking cuck. And they want that to be the new norm. They want all you guys to cuck yourselves out. And then you cuck yourself out And now nobody respects you because you're a cuck. Women aren't going to respect you for being a fucking cuck. The rest of society isn't going to respect you for being a fucking cuck. So, I say this to say, fellas, keep your motherfucking nuts, bruh. I'm going to look at the camera and say that shit. Fellas, keep your motherfucking nuts. Don't let nobody make you feel bad for being a man. Anyway, I'm done. I just wanted to talk about that. Talk about masculinity under attack. I appreciate everybody for listening to the Yup, I Said It podcast. Anyway, y'all have fun. Y'all love life. And y'all love y'all motherfucking selves. I'm out this bitch. Peace.